fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo. It's not very often we get to review a watch that was inspired by one of the golden age of Hollywood greats. And we've got this watch here that came from the House of Cartier, designed for a bracelet that came out for Gloria Swanson in 1930. We'll tell you all about it coming up. Back in 2004, when Cartier launched the Declaration watch, I was actually a boutique director for them, and I loved this watch from the first time I saw it. I loved the old golden age of Hollywood stories about people like Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford, and Gloria Swanson was one of those gigantic international superstars, famous on a level that nobody is nowadays, just because our attentions are so splintered between all the different entertainers and sports figures and everything that's around now. But she was someone that was in dozens of silent movies, and she was a huge star. She was so valuable to her studio at the time that they said they used to carry her in a sedan chair from her dressing room to the set. It's just insane. Nobody does that now, I don't think. But when they made the transition to the talkies in the early 30s, she really had a hard time, and she was one of those stars kind of like you see in Singing in the Rain and other Hollywood portrayals of the difficulty a lot of the silent film stars had of transitioning to the talkies. But when she was at the height of her wealth, and she was extravagantly wealthy. She had a huge mansion in Beverly Hills, but she commissioned from Cartier a couple of bracelets that became one of her signature items. She used them in all sorts of promo pictures and press releases and everything. They were closely identified with her. And if you Google it, you'll see Gloria Swanson Cartier bracelets. They were rock crystal with diamonds. And so they were bangle bracelets that were just crazy. I mean, they looked like something that only royalty would wear. And of course, she was American royalty. But she famously wore them again in her big comeback movie in 1950, Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard, which is still such a film that had such impact that it's still studied in film schools all across the world. You should definitely look it up if you've never seen Sunset Boulevard. But in that movie, she wore black gloves and then these rock crystal and diamond huge bracelets. So they're very front and center in that movie. So in 2004, when Cartier decided that they wanted to plumb the depths of their catalog, and they came up with the Declaration watch, which is based on these rock crystal bracelets of Gloria Swanson's. So it gives you the chance to get not only a piece of jewelry that happens to tell time, but sort of capture some of that Hollywood glamour from 100 years ago. And when you look at this watch, it really is creative. I mean, Cartier really had their creativity on full splendor that year. They had a lot of different versions of this watch. There were versions where there were white gold with diamonds all the way around, so it really looked like Gloria's bracelets, but that's kind of a lot for people to wear on a day-to-day basis. So this one is really a lot more practical because you can wear this anytime. It's a titanium case, and then it has these movable rose gold bands that as you move, they really sort of flip around. And so it really is not just a piece of jewelry that happens to tell time, but a piece of jewelry that has a mobility to it that draws the attention. So as you move your wrist, one side has the watch and another side has a really big diamond solitaire. Of the bands, this one has 6 that are diamond set. And of course, we've talked about before, Cartier is really a jeweler first and a watchmaker second, and they do diamond work like no one else. It's a very small quartz movement in this watch, so it's practical if you don't wear it for a few days and pick it up, and it'll still have the right time. It also has an 18-karat rose gold buckle, which is also diamond set. I love it when companies do that. We've seen that some from Patek Philippe, but Cartier does a great job. And of course, they invented the deployant buckle, which virtually every watch company uses now. And as you wear this, I just think it'll bring you a lot of pleasure when you think about these Gloria Swanson, and you go back and you watch the movies and you see how they were used as part of her persona. and how much she was revered as one of these great founders of the Hollywood movement. And then in Sunset Boulevard, she was sort of portrayed almost as herself. She was a has-been that had been extremely successful in the silent era and then had a hard time with the talkies. So it looked a lot like her. And she was nominated for Best Actress for the role. It's a very, very famous movie. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Definitely the Cartier Declaration watch, one of the sort of apex of creativity that we've got here at SwissWatchExpo. Give us a call, see if we've still got it. We'll be happy to do a FaceTime call and show you what it looks like on a woman's wrist. I can't really model it very well for you here this morning, but we'll be happy to put it on Penny's wrist and let you see what it looks like.